Any questions? Seeing none, let's move on to the next item.
7. Main Street Live.
Main Street
Main
Live.
Street Live. There we go. Okay, last. March 4th, we had a subcommittee meeting, organized by one and only Matthew Casamayor here. He's the chair of the Economic Development Committee, who has been nice enough to help us get this going. You wanna say more?
No, just excited to help out. Like Felicia mentioned, we kind of came to this decision to do Main Street Live and bring it back when we were having the, I guess it's quarterly chair meeting that we all have, that we all get together, all the different chairs, and see how we can coordinate and work together. I was telling her how we wanted to bring more life to the center of Main Street and to the tenants, right? And to bring more business, and that is our town center. So we wanted to bring more life to it because it's been kind of dead on the decline recently. One of our committee members is the owner of Chella's, and now recently one of our other committee members, he just signed up after Main Street Live, is Hector from Pizza Scene. So now we've got 2 Main Street tenant owners, and they just really want to get involved, and I agree that we should really take it to the next level. So I've been working with Felicia on making sure that event can happen. I remember it from 20 years ago when I was a kid, and they would do, and you guys set up that event with Radio Disney and all that back in the day. And I used to love it as a kid. So that's why I was, really excited to bring it back. So it was awesome, that first one, bringing it back and seeing the little kids dancing around and having fun out. It brought a smile to my face. I was like, oh, look at that, I did it. Like, like it happened. We all did it together. It was great. So it's just something I want to, continue. And Carlos from Chella's was echoing that fact that it's something that we should have consistency with and keep together for at least a year. He was thinking to see if we can get some traction and really bring some more life to Main Street. So I'm just here to support Felicia and try to see if we can keep this going for at least a year. I know we're committed to at least 3 right now, so.
Through the chair, am I correct that March is already paid?
Yep.
March is already paid.
So, at the last council meeting on February 18th, the council made a motion, and I'm reading this verbatim, what you said, providing formal approval for the Main Street Live concert coming up. So, that's why I guess the town is promoting it as one of our events. Of course, it's been a collaboration from the beginning. And the idea here is, and Matthew wanted to bring this to our attention, whether we want, and that's another thing that we can discuss as we move on the meeting, is there's some events that they said that we could bring to Main Street. This was a suggestion from one of the town staff, was to, instead of doing the event in the park or in another venue, bring them to Main Street to liven up Main Street. That's something, again, that we don't have the time tonight to discuss it, but it would be a good idea to, bring bands that, instead of us paying so much money for them in the park, it could be, something that we could work on. So that's something to think about. And also, the idea of either we keep it as our event. And again, idea is to not move money around, but the events, just move the location, not just the, money around to fund this. If we agree to help out, we can do it, like 3 months we can sponsor it, and then the other 3 months. And by the way, the budget so far has been, has been under $3,000. So it's not like a big band. It's just bringing, entertainment. And we've been, very frivolous about the spending. And the stage has been the one that we used. I think the band loved it. It was a good size. The lighting, the gentleman Martin is awesome. He was We had light and we had smoke and it was very lively. And then the thing that makes it a little bit more expensive is the band. So far, the most expensive so far, and this is something that, I think I've been with the invoice, right?
Mhm.
Was $1,200. So it comes, when you add up everything, it's $25.95. So that's the average cost of putting the event on Main Street. So it's up to us to either, do, and, this year was a test from January to March. Unfortunately, January, got rained out. And then March is the one coming up. So we have April, May and June, the last three. We have, Jackson Bun wants to come back in May. They're free that day, May 16th. And then this band, which is, Michael Mutt. His band is, Dr. K and the Copays, something like that. It's a rock band. He used to play for us in the park, different events. He did, disco night one time, I would say what was the thinking? As you know, Casey and the Sunshine Band is from Miami Lakes, and we wanted to do a concert about his music. So it was a great event. He was honored. And he was there. He has different bands.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember it.
You
Charles?
remember, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It
So
was
he's a great musician, and he reached out to us and he said, "Oh, I want to be part of this. I want to be part because I've been doing stuff before." So that's the one for June.
here
So-
for the Main Street night?
Yeah, but it's a
Casey's
smaller
coming?
band. It's a smaller band.
Is this
Uh,
KC you told? Yeah, KC.
No, not KC. KC Sachs, he charges like 60.
I know.
Is Michael Mott and his group,
Uh,
rock band.
through the chair, who has the budget for April? What organization has the budget for Main Street Live?
Okay, Felicia, is it all right if I jump in here? Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna stand up because I pace when I talk. All right. Basically, what we talked about at the last subcommittee meeting, the main gist of it was, we want to do this event. The Grams committed to February, March, and April, right? They're gonna pay for those three.
They did April?
They're going to do April, yeah. February, March, and April. It was gonna be January, February, March, but January didn't happen and the Grams were nice enough to move it over. So we're doing February, March, April, covered through the Grams. The issue is moving forward, and I found out, through Isle, like, when we were trying to do the advertisement, that technically right now, this isn't necessarily a town event, right? Correct?
So it's town approved, but funding wise, it is not coming out of cultural affairs per the conversation that we all had
Well,
last
we wanted to
meeting.
assess,
Right.
Exactly, yeah, because you guys are a little vague with the wording in terms of, we're gonna approve it, so it's a town approved event. And that's about it, right? So we can get the full access of the town in terms of, let's say, making an event bright and doing things on that level. I've been doing it through the Chambers Eventbrite account and things like that, creating the event and pushing it. So what we need to figure out today, I guess, is whether the Cultural Affairs Committee, you guys want to take on this event as an official town event and, basically put up the budget for it throughout the year and make sure it's gonna happen. That's why Felicia was talking about moving around bands and moving things to Main Street to open up some of the budget. We talked about it that last subcommittee meeting to see whether you guys could do it and, kind of take over, because that's where the role of the Cultural Affairs Committee usually comes in. But if not, if there's no potential way and if you guys can't see it making it work throughout the year, we at the EDC are willing to jump in more on a budget monetary kind of role and take over it that way. But then you guys still obviously manage the bands and the culture side of things, and then we stay managing the tenants and bringing in sponsors side of thing. And we already have a sponsorship package, not official, but just kind of written up a draft that once it becomes an official town event, I can hand that over to Howard. She can create it into an actual sponsorship package. And then we can work on getting sponsors from the different tenants and businesses, the local, to kind of cover the cost that way. But what we do need to do, at least I was telling us at the subcommittee meeting, is we kind of not really prove, but we just need to show the town that this is an event that we can handle on our own, separate from the sponsors, that we're not completely relying on sponsors and, we don't have them this year or this month. So what do? You got me? So we just kind of need to show them that, hey, we've got the budget for it, either Cultural Affairs Committee or the EDC, and then get the town to, right now, the council approved it from you guys. That's kind of why we're approaching you guys first. So if you guys say, yes, we're going to take on this event, then we're good to go. We can already start rocking and rolling. If you guys can't, and we need to do it, then I have to go up to the town during the next council meeting and kind of pitch it and saying, hey, I know we came up here last time through the cultural affairs, but instead it's gonna be us. We want to put this on our budget, kind of make it a whole thing, you know, and kind of do it that way. So
And when you say
That's the spiel.
us, it's economic.
us is the economic development
Yeah,
committee,
they-
correct?
Not the chamber.
Not the chamber, sorry, yeah, you are right, yeah, I represent
When do you
both.
have to make this decision?
Okay,
Probably pretty soon, just because it's February, March, April, right? So
Yeah.
March is coming up now, and then April's the one after, and then we need it for May. So we
Oh,
kind of need to decide
I'd
now or
like to add explain something.
go for it, go for it. Sorry, that's my
Um,
piece.
I was gonna ask you another question when you get a minute.
Well, let me.
Got it, got it.
Okay, in our budget, and I didn't want to get into this because anyone is spending too much time with this. We have two items here. One is the concert on the fairway and concerts. In concert on the fairways, we have $10,500. What has happened in the past few years is we had unfortunately bad weather, we had to cancel, I think it was, what's her name, Henry?
Yeah, the,
Nicole Henry,
yeah.
and we had to pay her, she did not want, what was the issue with the money that it was
So
like.
the issues that you guys are signing agreements.
Yeah, that's
Set
it.
agreements, and then we lost money,
An
and she
agreement
only
is
sang
an
one
agreement.
song, and
Yeah.
then the money she kept, she didn't wanna even give us a discount for the next. And then, in the last one, we had to cancel because of weather. And we had to give them, I don't know, we had a good deal with Valerie Tyson, but we had to give her back 2,500.
I don't right now.
Yes,
Off the top of my
yes.
head.
Yeah.
500.
Yes,
So if you start adding money, I mean, we could have funded like 3 bands already. 3 events. So, this is something to think about. We don't need to make a decision today. But think about it, because if they take over, we cannot ask for funds because it's not an event anymore. Even though it's cultural, but they take over. And that's what they want to do. They want to get
Who's they, the economic
economic
development?
I mean,
development.
we'll help with sponsors regardless, even if it's you guys, like, I don't believe in the whole, there's this
Yeah.
committee and there's us
So
committee and
when
we're
you're chair,
all the town.
it's a one-way thing. So let me explain something to you. The only reason that the question here is the funding. I want to be very clear
Right.
about
Yeah.
that. Grant companies took on the event because they didn't want to see it die. They did February, March, and April. They're good for the money. They're taking care, they're organizing the event with or without us essentially. Right? They want to
Correct.
partner with the town. But
Correct.
really, the vision here is for the town to take over. And by take over, I want to be very clear, we're talking about funding.
Mhm.
Because if I don't have funding, me as town staff, I cannot just take money from cultural affairs and pay out a band. And what do we need to confirm an event? I need to be able to confirm a band well in advance. So I need to have money to pull from somewhere essentially. The question to cultural affairs that stands, and correct me if I'm wrong, is, are you guys willing to front the money for that? Yes or no? That's really what it comes down to. And if not, plan B, as Matthew
Yeah.
was explaining, is economic development has fund that seems like they're comfortable with putting up fronting for this event. And they are happy to still collaborate with you guys in a way where you guys are still putting up the cultural component, which is helping organize the event. So you are taking ownership of organizing the event, the logistics of it, as well as the band. So what do you guys want to do come May? Do you want to see the event continue? And at what capacity does cultural affairs want to sponsor the events? I hope that explains everything.
No, I think that was perfect. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Let's see, correct?
Yeah, sorry, what was your question?
Okay, so I'm looking at it from a little bit of a different perspective. I'm looking from an analytical perspective, because if we're putting this on for 3 months, who is taking care of looking at attendance? Who's looking at, listen, this many people showed up, these many businesses made a profit, all this other stuff, because it seems like it's a great idea for us to bring culture to the town. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I love the idea of having, different genres and all these different things, and that sounds great. But we're putting in all this work and trying to fund this, and it benefits the town. I get it, and it benefits the businesses. How are they going to reciprocate that? Because, for example, I'm familiar with pizza scene, so I know that. If they're making all this extra money for the days when this is happening and all these things are they going to be, nudged to kind of reciprocate back to cultural affairs in some kind of voluntary way? Or are we going to have to find all this money for whatever kind of months? Is there gonna be someone else, like, is your committee going to help with the funding? Or are we just gonna do the legwork? Because if it's not beneficial from an economic perspective, if it's not bringing out a certain amount of people or a certain crowd or a certain age group, then does it really benefit anyone?
Well, that's the goal, is to bring people to Main Street, is foot traffic. So the
Okay.
goal is just to bring in foot traffic, to give the tenants more, more foot traffic and people going through their stores. Like, for
How many people
example,
attended the last?
We had
I would say
over-
like 60 to 70
No,
stuff or less.
say about 80.
Hmm.
Okay.
In the
Now,
first
were
one.
there, were they, I'm sorry, through the chair, were they there for the concert or were they there because it's Main Street
No.
and the movies are going on and Pizza Zine and stuff like that?
No,
Some of them
there's
brought
definitely,
chairs.
yeah, a good
They
chunk
brought
there for the
chairs and
concert,
all
yeah.
that, Yeah.
That's why, like, I know Hector from Pizza Scene, like, a big reason why he joined the EDC after was because he wanted to participate and take part in doing more events like that. Because it worked out for him, like, because since it's a concert and it's outdoors, a lot of people are kind of looking for grab and go food. So they
That's
would,
great.
you know,
Of
do
course,
the
all
pizza.
Businesses can make money.
No, of course, yeah. So that's why when I was passing out that one, I went to all the different tenants and I told them, we kind of got approval from Andrew and the Grams that, hey, if you guys want to come and put some stuff closer to this section, you're more than welcome to. Like, for example, Acai Express, we talked to them, it'd be a great idea for them to put up a little stand with little acai bowls that they sell, you know, $10.
Oh.
Get a little bowl and you eat there, you know, that way you have options. You know, we thought it would be great for Garrison to put a little bar maybe outside and they could have like a little setup outside. So that way you can kind of stay in the moment and stay in the music outside. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have
Right,
to go
and
and
that's
stuff
great,
like that.
but
Right.
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
else is making money and that's wonderful and we're bringing all these people. But is the Cultural Affairs Committee going to be responsible for paying all of these expenses or the band or whatever else?
Well,
from
that's-
A certain type of, from a certain month to a certain, like, that's.
Exactly, yeah,
question, right,
that's what we're trying to figure out. So right now, the initial pitch, like plan A, like I was saying, is for you guys to take over just because that's what was pre-approved from the town. That's really the only reason.
So
But
you
it's-
said,
yeah.
was your suggestion to get rid of that other event and split that money onto these? Is that what
Well,
you?
it's not get rid of the event, it's
Downsize?
let's say, instead of spending $10,000 on whatever, because for the other concert in the park, we need a big stage, we need.
And that's
lighting.
only that one event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
So that money could be used to help, bring music to Main Street, even the symphony, they can come and play in Main Street. Years ago, we had a brass band play during Christmas, so it was very successful, It was like, and it's gonna take time, this is not gonna be a success like for this, in a couple of months,
Yeah,
it's
let
gonna
the-
take time
Yeah.
for people
Let people
to
realize.
learn what we have, the promotion, and they're doing great marketing. And it's just, it's something that our town needs. I know the merchants need it too. But our towns, by putting us in the spot, I mean, there's a band that if we hire them, I don't know how much they are, it'll put Miami-Dade in the map. I mean, the list is growing of all the bands that want to perform on Main Street.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay, so let's say that we have 10,000 for the concert
No,
at the Fairway.
okay,
Okay, how does that work? Can we just say a certain portion of that go to Main Street Live? And kind of, incorporate the concert coming to Main Street instead of being at the park?
okay. Right now, what we're trying to do is confirm that we want to be part of this. The logistics of, not moving the money, I think it's still concerts, but
Right.
it's in a different location. Instead of in
Right,
the
you're
park.
just allocating to
Yeah,
other events.
okay, yeah.
So,
So is
Okay.
the money going to go to that instead of to one big concert? Is that what you would like to see?
I Felicia threw the chair just because I think we're going back and forth kind of about the same piece. So I think you should just make the motion of what it is that you're proposing, because you know what it is that you're proposing. To do with the funds, with the line item, whatever it may be.
Through the chair, before we can you tell us how much money we have now that we have not used? That we
Yeah, there's a budget attached to
Yeah,
all of
I
your
got, I
agendas.
have this back.
So if you want me to go through it with you,
But you not remember Fairway,
did I have the fund that we just had? I touch a budget, my bad. I did?
Yeah, they have it. I see it on theirs. I see it.
I'm just going through. Okay. So page 7, Page 7, your last column is available budget.
Right.
So this is how much money. Yeah, this is how much money you guys have left. Pretty much take away $16,000 from there because that is 4th of July and we need to keep that for 4th of July. We can't move that. So really, we're talking about what, $9,000. Now, again, things that I think you need to keep in mind logistically is if you're having paint a picture for mom come May, and then Father's Day fishing tournament, and then symphony, your money's gonna run out. 9,000 is gonna be gone.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the concern. I will say, to Z's point, are you guys getting any money back from that? I guess the hope is that you put on such a good event that you get sponsorships and naturally it balances out. But I also will remind you, I don't think the point of cultural affairs is to profit off of this per se. The profit is, are you bringing culture to the town? That's essentially the point of cultural affairs. And it kind of does fall in line, I would think, to do this. However, I understand the concern. The problem seems to be that you guys have other events that are gonna pull the money. And the money does need to be allocated. So do you guys wanna allocate it for the events that you normally do every year? Or are you looking for a switch of scenery and now maybe doing this, or can you do both? That's the question to you guys.
Well,
I think the confusion is that we're gonna be pulling money from different events to do this. We're not, we're just moving the event from one location. to
That's why I'm
another.
saying you should just make the motion of what it is that you want
Okay.
cultural affairs to do.
Let me see if it comes out clear. Sometimes people get confused.
Was that, Jackson Bun, whatever, this year's budget?
No, that was the 4th of July.
They
Oh,
did 4th
no.
of July a year or two.
No, the
ago.
other one, the one that
Mantra.
we had, to
Mantra.
no, the one that we had to pay $2,500 for.
Valerie
Valerie
Tyson,
Tyson.
yes, yes, this is,
Valerie.
yeah, so to before, Valerie Tyson was part of concert on the fairway.
Right.
So that is built into that cost that you guys, so if you guys look at the concert on the fairway line, you guys were given $10,500 for that line item.
Correct.
And you guys,
With
That's what I'm saying.
500,000.
you guys spent, I'm sorry, there was 11,000 already spent for that, so you guys actually you're over that line item by $538. You're at a
Money's
deficit.
not there.
That money is not there for this fiscal year.
This is clear. Okay, good. I'm glad you gave us those numbers. Okay, I'd like to make a motion that, not for this year, but for next year, we can allocate in our budget, which we're gonna have a budget to do this Main Street events. So, and I know we cannot do it this year. We already used up the money. I agree with her. We don't have the money right now. So the motion, let me see if I can clarify it.
And not for this year, but next year to allocate.
No, the sponsor, we don't need to do that. I mean, like I was reading the schedule and April, I think it falls on Good Friday, and I don't think we should be doing a Good Friday.
No, you're not gonna, that's not a good idea.
So that's not a good idea. So even we can save money on the, or you guys can save money on the April one. And the guy hasn't even called me back with invoice. So
May,
Through the chair, we're going into discussion,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
know.
just trying to help you guys get through an agenda item. The motion was made. Is there a second?
no,
I-
the motion has not been completed, it just
Okay.
says motion that not for this year, but next year to allocate, and that's it.
to allocate the money for concert on the fairway, the location to be moved to Main Street.
Okay, to allocate the money
Monies for concert,
for
concert on the fairway.
the concert
On
on the
the fairway.
fairway, okay,
To,
to-
to the Main
Move it
Street.
to the.
To Main Street Live.
The location.
oh,
For how many concerts?
Let's do
Much
the
as we have
second,
money.
okay,
Let's
so we're
have
doing with the
discussion.
motion.
Okay,
Second?
okay, read the motion,
Okay.
please.
Yeah,
motion.
repeat it.
That not for this year, but next year. To allocate the money for the concert on the fairway. To the location at Main Street Live.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds right.
No.
You're talking about location or budget. What are you recommending?
She
Like,
wants
what
to
is
do
the
it?
one
location?
concert with a bunch of concerts. That's pretty much.
That's
it.
the motion.
Right, Felicia?
I
That's
would
what we
say
wanna
to
do?
allocate the money for the concert on the fairway to Main Street Live.
To Main Street.
Concerts.
Yeah, to Main Street Live
Yeah.
concerts.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
That sounds better.
Okay.
Much better.
And to have the rest of this year and, you know, to have the AEDC. What kind of sponsor or?
The question
that's
is,
not-
do you
That's
have
not-
funds or do you
that's
not?
not part of our-
Yeah, I think that would be me
That's not
on
our
the next
motion.
one, yeah.
And we'll have the rest
think
of
we're
this
good.
year what?
No, that's.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you're good there, I think you're good there.
Okay, let's read it again,
Read
so
it
make
again,
sure.
read it again.
A motion that not for this year, but next year, to allocate the funds, not money, the funds, okay? For the concert on the fairway to Main Street live concerts. Okay,
Is there a second?
Yes, I
second.
Okay, discussion.
It's vague. It doesn't have a number. It doesn't have an amount. So I have an issue with that. Do we have a concert per month? Are we gonna commit to 6 concerts? Do we use all of the amount of money? I personally think it's a great idea. I love the fact that we have a variety of little concerts, throughout the month and all these different things, especially over summer, because we have a large crowd, we have a lot of schools, kids are out, parents wanna take them out. And especially in the summertime, but are we gonna commit to just this amount, this 11,000, or are we gonna commit to the whole year worth of
Let
concerts?
me clarify.
Okay.
The Main Street Live concept
Mhm.
was gonna be done from January to June,
So January.
Okay, so it's
only 6 months, okay.
half the year. So if we do an event, like we had to cancel the January one, or they had to cancel it. Is because that's when the best weather is. Unfortunately, in January, we didn't have any weather. But it's not a full year,
Okay, so it's 6 concerts.
it's 6
Mhm.
concerts.
Can we amend the motion to 6 concerts only, or is that a given? Is that like understood?
I will mention, I personally don't think that this motion is even needed, but I'll let that be up to you guys, because if you're talking about next fiscal year, I will remind you that come May, you guys as a committee need to decide the breakdown of what next year's budget is.
My
But
question
again-
is, who takes care of May and June?
Nobody's taking care of it right now. Right now,
Well,
nobody's
that's-
taking care of it. So that's why
Not
they're
us.
coming, that's why
How
they're
we
coming,
having it?
the Grams are ready to turn this over to you guys. That's the question in play.
Are they willing to pay for us to take it over?
No, they
Oh.
haven't, that's why we're being very transparent in what's gonna happen.
Yeah, right now the grants are paying for everything, right now,
Right,
For
so they,
3 months.
for 3 months,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So
that was
May
their
and
only
June
commitment.
is where
February,
we
March,
have to
April.
find money to
Fund.
fund,
Right.
Because
May and June.
collectively, cultural affairs, EDC, the tenants, the chamber, people want it. So that's why
Yeah.
they're kind
How
of
much
looking to
money are
you
these
guys.
people putting down, if I may ask?
Well, that's. the
Right
thing.
now, that's the problem, is that we can't get to that point. No, but that's the problem, we
Yeah.
can't get to that point because of,
No,
it's not officially the county grant, that's the
Right now, it's
problem.
not- Right now, the grants are every 3 months. Everybody would love to see it continue. They're seeing to cultural affairs because cultural affairs used to do this event. That's the
Yeah.
answer. That's all it is.
And it's
And
a
it's for
cultural
next
event.
year, and it's a
So
cultural
right.
Yeah, and then it costs around like 3%, around 3,000 each. for
So if
this.
you guys wanna go into details, I don't think it does you any favors right now in March to
Because
talk
we have
about
to
next
wait for the
fiscal year
budget, yeah.
specifics. You guys should, however, come ready with that idea come May, June, when I tell you, hey, it's time to prepare your budget.
Right.
And maybe
Correct.
keep that in mind as you're allocating for concert on the fairway.
Mhm.
Are we
Right.
doing concert on the fairway and these? Are we doing this? Or like,
Yeah.
that's where you guys need to be.
Yeah,
Felicia,
because
as of
the
right now-
attendance on those concerts haven't been that much either.
What-
Right, those are all considerations for
Yeah.
cultural affairs.
Those are
Where
things
do we
we can
get the
discuss.
$6,000, right,
Mhm.
for May and June?
Mhm.
Where is that coming?
No,
from?
there's no, like, you guys.
This is next year.
No,
No,
right
no,
now,
no.
May
He said
and
go
June.
to June.
That's why those events haven't been planned, because we need seed funding, right, to plan an event. Right now, that hasn't
Yeah,
been
but she's
planned.
saying that you guys can't do it this year because of the points you brought up earlier, so that's why she's suggesting it for the next fiscal year, and then maybe that's when you guys
Right.
can
So is
allocate
it
that
not
space.
gonna happen for May and June?
As of right now,
He wants
my
to
solution
be-
is that now Plan B is gonna take effect, and I'm gonna try to do it from the EDC. We'll try to do it from that perspective.
Because they really wanna see it happen.
Yeah, exactly, and then I would ask you guys if you could be nice enough to help out with the band selection, because I have no idea.
With the cultural component.
With the cultural parts, yeah.
Would you want us to work together?
Exactly, yeah, we're just gonna go to Plan B, that's all.
Collaborate,
Yeah.
yeah. We have other events that
Right.
kind of coincide with those things, so if you guys are willing to, like, do that
Yeah.
stuff, to what level are we gonna be doing, like, half-seas and stuff?
What, for this Main Street Live?
Right, for next year.
Well, that's when we have.
Well,
to
that's when we'll
discuss.
decide that for next
We'll
year, but
discuss next
I,
year.
but you, what I was expecting and what we kind of discussed internally was that it was gonna be. You guys handling the actual cultural side of things, so like the picking of the band and where it's gonna be in Main Street, like where exactly the stage, all that kind of good stuff. And then what we would handle is working with attendants and the actual funding through sponsors, like we work to get the sponsors, like for example, right, for the one. the first one that's gonna be without the Grams, I already have the chambers, Miami Lakes Chamber committed to sponsoring the event in some fashion. I don't know if it'll be the entire thing, but they're gonna jump in and sponsor, and I know we can get other connections very easily, because at least from us, from the EDC, it's, I don't wanna say it's a curse, it's a blessing for sure, that when we come to our events, like our boot camp event at the end of the year, we have allocated budget for it, and then we end up spending zero, because it's all sponsored. We end up getting full sponsorship, and then we're like, oh, what do we do with this? You know, and then we end up getting raffle tickets, or we do something along the lines, or we have more networking social events, or we hold a really big networking event after the boot camp, you know, something along those lines. So we're confident when it comes to getting sponsorships within the town. We just kind of, like Isle said, one of our committees just needs to prove that, hey, we can do this, even without the sponsors, that we can fund it. But that's what she's saying, that now for the next fiscal years, maybe you guys can do it. But for this fiscal year, the EDC is probably gonna jump in, and I think we have the funding. Oh, it is a collaboration with the community.
To continue.
No.
That I don't know, that I don't, that's,
How much money?
That's not.
oh yeah, that I don't know, yeah, I don't know if that was
Yeah.
allowed, yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know, that's a good question.
How much money?
We don't have it.
If any.
But that we don't do until the next fiscal.
It's up to you guys.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the motion you guys made, was for the next fiscal year.
The motion's not even really necessary because we're talking about next fiscal year.
Okay, you
Yeah.
wanna go with your motion?
They're asking me to make a motion, so.
No,
No,
I
because
think the motion
because I
makes
don't
sense.
think you were getting the point, like, what is it that you want cultural affairs? When you guys want an action taken, we need a motion on the table, that's all I was trying to get at.
Okay. But if we decide to wait until we're ready to do.
That
next
motion, I
fiscal-
just wanna explain to you, that motion doesn't do anything for me, because I still need a proposed budget from you guys come May, June, as we do every year, you guys need a plan on your budget for the next fiscal year. So if we're talking about the next fiscal year, why are we, you know, we're talking about it now, and then we're talking about it.
Well, I mean, I think we kind of came to the solution, so if you want to make a motion to make a motion, you could make the motion to do
Yeah,
it,
that's fine. He
and
just
then you
needed
guys
to-
can deny it, that's
He
why.
needed to know what next.
No, that's why, yeah, so you can make the motion, then everybody says nay, and then I go, okay, now it's my turn, you know, we can do it like that, but you need the motion.
I think the motion should be that, the Economic Development Committee will work on with the tenants and funding and sponsorships, and the Cultural Affairs Committee will get the actual event plan, you know, the logistics, the band, etc.
Which is what we're.
Yes.
That's what I
Yeah.
would make. a
But you
motion
guys have
for.
been helping with the band.
But we've
Yeah,
been doing
we've
that.
been doing that.
Well, but you know,
Yeah, but do you need the motion for that, Isle? That's kind
motion
of why,
already
you brought the
there.
motion thing, that's why, so now, so it's not needed, right, if they're not gonna.
We can vote on the.
Yeah,
motion
the
that's on
motion was
table,
only
and-
for if you
Yeah,
guys were
yeah,
gonna take
yes.
over. But if you're not gonna take over, then no need.
Right, no, I
Yeah, you're
think-
not
I
doing
think
anything
the
right now. You
idea
guys are
is
saying nothing.
taking
Yeah.
The funding and us doing the collaborating would be,
Okay, so we're gonna
that's what I think.
all right, so I'll make the motion.
Well,
Okay, so
you
what
wanna-
about your motion, Felicia? Forget it?
You can,
Well, we
uh,
Let's just say everybody said nay.
We'll put that up in
You didn't
the-
pass. Whatever.
you can amend it. You can amend it.
Okay, so,
Ah, yeah,
You want the
yeah.
amendment, what is
okay,
the
so
amendment
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
make
An amended motion.
amend the motion.
to have ETC,
You don't have to, and I'm sorry, I really don't mean, but you don't have to go into EDC's role into this. They will determine what their role is. You
Okay,
guys are
so
not.
you
What's
have-
what's your role?
we're going to coordinate the event,
Coordinate and
Main Street
plan,
Live.
plan
right?
the event,
Only.
And plan the logistics, right?
the event.
Logistics of the Main Street Live events.
The cultural
For
element.
me,
The cultural portion of
The
it.
cultural
Right.
portion.
Just the cultural part.
Would that lock us in?
yeah, for
What I have to do is
for the
again in
season,
July, that's what I'm
no.
worried about.
And then in May,
Maybe we should keep it over. That's what I'm
Well,
saying,
in
just
case they
in case.
wanna fund next year.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, I don't want this to then be like, oh, but you only said May and June, so you gotta come back in July.
I mean, I know the council is really excited about it, they were there.
No, the event is approved. We don't
Yeah,
need
yeah,
money.
yeah. Right, the whole issue was just funding, that's why, it was just
Yes.
figuring out where to put it, that's why I'm just the solutions guy, so it's like, if we can't do it with this one, then I'll figure it out on my side over here, that's all I'm
okay,
here for,
so
that's
you
why.
can do your side and we'll do the cultural
Yeah.
part.
I got it, I'll talk to my crew about it, and see if we can make it happen, thanks, guys, I
Okay.
appreciate it.
But I'm not mentioning the part of EDC.
No, yeah, that's all I'm doing. Yeah, I know now what to walk away.
You
with.
guys don't need to go to another committee.
Yeah. But we're good, I know now what to walk away with, and I'll be at the next council meeting if anybody wants to
Right.
come support it.
Okay,
Okay, read the motion again so we can. be done with it.
Yeah, so Geraldine amended, I'm gonna put Felicia's motion, and this is an amended motion.
So we're gonna go to the amendment.
To have the Cultural Affairs Committee coordinate and plan the logistics of the Main Street live events. Only the cultural part of the events.
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
This is for next year?
This is the
Oh,
right now.
this is now,
The right
now,
now.
This is now.
Now,
Yeah, the next year one was a frivolous
we're
one, so it'd be
waiting
for the next
for
one.
April,
May and June, actually, May and
May and
June.
June.
because
Okay,
So you said April, we can skip, yeah. So we can have them before May then.
Events
Concerts
of May and June.
and June.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I don't think, I think the original, group did the second Friday of the month, that's why they didn't have to worry about Good Friday. Cause I was looking at the calendar, I said, oh no, I already told the guys to be,
Then they-
middle of April, but
They
we
have to be on
can
the same
figure it out.
day.
Maybe next year we hit second
Doesn't
Friday.
it-
Let's
They have to
we
be
should
on a
get
Friday?
moving on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, so
Let's go.
second? Who's gonna say? Yeah, okay,
Discussion
discussion,
None.
everyone, whoever is in favor?
of the
In
amendment,
fa-
of the amendment.
Yes, she just repeated,
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye, okay,
Aye.
aye.
Okay, any opposition?
I abstain.
Okay, huh?
I abstain.
Me.
Okay,
I abstain.
abstain?
Two
So
abstain.
Abstain? Okay.
You're abstaining. Oh. So 5, yay, okay, perfect, motion passes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
All right, cool. I know what to do. Thank you guys.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Sorry
ma'am.
for the confusion. I apologize.
This is my, I don't mean to hold this on you, but again, if, so then your opportunity for really taking this on funding wise, if you want to provide any funding for it, is really when you start allocating your funds for
Come in
next.
May.
fiscal
Exactly.
year.
Next
That's the
budget
part.
year.
So
Okay.
something to keep in mind.
There you go.
Let's move on to the next item. Let's do this thing.
Huh?
Hold on, let's move on.
Oh, my committee?
Okay, I have-
Yeah.
About this,
I'm not worried about the council.
but,
Through the chair, can we move anything? that
no,
needs
we
to
can,
be voted? I will be leaving at 8:30.
Yes, I will.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't
know.
have quorum.
Just in case.
Take it.
You might not have quorum, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay,
We're
let's
on
do it.
7F
Let's-
right now.
Yeah,
let's,
I went through Main
let's-
Street.
let's table F.
If you guys have any connection.
So I have a question for the committee before
I'll
we
leave the
table it.
stack here.
7F, I've given you guys
Okay.
instructions, I keep seeing it on your agenda, nobody's bringing back any proposals, so. Do you guys wanna continue adding something on your agenda that's just, I feel like it's taking up space, nobody's bringing it up.
Okay, I have here. Did you get anything? I mean, I'm talking on iPhone.
We're on 7F right now.
The small business boot camp?
I was just putting out the question to the committee.
Yeah,
Oh, you
actually,
were at that yesterday?
we'll table it. I mean, this is something that I wanna
Oh,
keep
yeah, you're
there because I know it's
So
eventually.
I was saying, should we continue?
I'm
putting it
really
on the
proposing you
agenda?
guys just
Drop
remove
it.
it, drop it, because I don't see any updates
you're
from
ready.
anybody.
Okay.
This
No,
has
I
been for
think-
a couple of months.
No, this, I mean, I know we do it in the neighborhood committee to keep it there to remind us. Because this project itself is gonna get 2 years. So in the planning of it, we wanna keep it there so we know.
I
the
mean, it's up
process
to
of-
the committee at the end of the day what they wanna keep on the agenda. I'm asking the question because it sounds like it's something you guys wanna do, but nobody has moved on the directions that have been needed.
Because, the project is in
Appreciate
progress.
the clarity.
Okay, next item.
So we're
So what
tabling,
is it?
what is the motion from the
What is-
committee? We're
Thank you, guys.
tabling F, or we're removing the agenda?
Table it, table it.
Can you make a motion?
Make a motion to table,
7F.
This is an item that
A
is.
second,
Second.
discussion,
In favor,
all in favor of tabling,
Aye.
against,
any nays? Z is a nay also.
so the next item is 8A. This is the proposed budget for the symphony concert. Did you get anything from Renee?
No,
Not yet,
I'm
okay.
still waiting on.
This is what tentatively she text to me. And it's, we can make a motion. No, because she sent that to me after the agenda. was done. Is, let's see, where's the. Okay. Basically, they are proposing, the budget, for the performance, to be $3,800, $3,800. I think it's less than last year. I added, information about the rest of the expenses. Which is, I do?
I'm gonna give it back to you right now. I'm just scanning for public records.
Copy here.
This, you guys, Felicia's putting out a.
Okay, I'm gonna pass this around and I'll bring it real quick. The venue and the performance fee is 3,800. The rental donation, I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be $600. Janitorial service and piano tuning, they're requesting a piano tuning. Last time they did it for $250. Catering wise, I don't wanna spend too much money. $200 on that. So our budget is $5,000. Option one will be with the piano tuning, will be $4,850. And option two without the piano tuning is $4,600. So I'm gonna look at it and. So,
Is this a copy?
yeah, it's
It's a copy? I can have this copy.
I can email it to you guys. I
Yeah.
already scanned
Oh,
it.
you did? Okay.
just pass it around, so.
Through the chair, on the person that's responsible for the orchestra, can we tell them that we've gone from like 40 to 30 to 25 to less each time, and to me, the concert is not what it used to be when we had the guy from, was Spain or where
Yeah.
we came
Well,
from.
actually, no, this one, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, yeah,
This is the old orchestra that we used to get.
yeah. The
Remember that
conductor.
orchestra
yeah,
split up.
Yeah.
So we're getting a maestro.
We could that.
We're getting a maestro.
We're getting for the past 3 years, and that's one of,
Oh, my God.
you know, I
went to
mentioned
see
it to
them. We're
Renee,
getting the
I said-
maestro.
Okay.
this
Oh.
gentleman
Yeah.
is a well-renowned composer. So I think for the price that we're getting,
Incredible.
and by the way, she told me that they're working on the repertoire, it's not ready yet, it's still early on. But I just wanted to put this on, on the table for you to look at it. And
That's
to
nice.
approve the budget. I think it's a good, price for it, especially if we're getting a full band.
They're wonderful.
They're wonderful.
Excuse me, can we make a motion?
I'll send you the video.
Yes,
that
let's
I
make
took
a
over.
motion. Has everybody looked at it? So basically our budget is 5,000, we're spending at the most 4,000.
1,850.
Can you make the motion properly? I make a motion too.
Okay, I make the motion to approve the budget for the.
What is the number?
Not to exceed 5,000.
4,850. $4,850.
Okay.
So the concert budget is 5,000 and the proposed budget is, so we are like $400 or less. Okay,
The second,
here a second,
Second.
discussion. Okay.
What date? I'm sorry.
It's
August
gonna be
16th.
August 16th.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you.
Approved. So it is a motion to approve the budget not to exceed 4,850. Okay?
The budget
For the Symphony of the Americas, August
It's not
16th.
simply the Americas,
it's not simple.
What do you wanna
call it?
Proposals for.
music for America, something like that. It's a new band, but it's the same musicians.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Call it symphony concert.
Symphony concert?
Or you can call it what the band is, Music for America. Music for America. Symphony.
Concert. No,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Okay, so that's their name. So we're not using Symphony of the Americas anymore because we have, these people who are the same ones anyway. Okay, next item.
Sorry, Madam Chair, I'm leaving.
Okay, hold on a second. Calendar real quick. We can go. I mean, the calendar you already, we don't need.
So
to-
you're
See you
looking
guys
for-
Saturday.
Okay.
The calendar.
Yeah.
Basically, I redid this. YouTube? What is this?
Yeah, right.
Bueno, give us. That's all, we're leaving two left.
We'll have-
Yeah, what time is it?
Oh,
What time is it?
Yes.
5. What did you say, 30?
It's 8:30 already?
Yeah,
Yes, 8:30.
yes.
Yeah, you guys need to be a little more concise with your motions.
well, no, the thing with the Main Street.
No, the Main Street was what delayed it, and I didn't wanna talk about it.
No, I'm just making a
Okay.
suggestion.
Then if we,
Okay.
yeah, we don't have a.
Okay, and this one, we don't need to vote on this, but I just wanted you to make you aware of the book talk.
Oh, this is all part of everybody's agenda. The committee members should really be reviewing this in advance. I think that's part of the reason why we delayed the meeting. I attached it as part of your agenda.
They didn't read.
I'm just saying, I think that that's why some of your items go longer. For example, the
I'm
minutes.
very, I'm very
people should read it.
disappointed because, you
People
know,
can read it ahead of time, of course.
Yes.
I'm making a suggestion, that's why, 'cause-
Yeah.
and your agenda is also very packed. This,
but that's why I wanted to spend. not
I
too
don't
much
think
time
that
on
you guys, from what I've seen, I don't think you guys are able to take on 10 items in an agenda, it's too much for you
It's
guys.
too much.
Yeah.
This is too much, yeah.
Okay, but at least we got the budget for the symphony done. The
So-
dates, I wanted to get approval because I know those things, you know, with a mixture of the time, at least we got to fix the date. The other stuff we can talk about. The rent coordinators, and I think. I had a list here of. And of course, I wanted to have everybody participate, but they're gone.
Well, then put that earlier the next time in April.
I think you guys go off
Earlier.
tangent when you're
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah.
motion
Yeah.
second. I'm ready to,
Look, everybody should have just 3 minutes to say what they want to say, but everything goes, it gets very haywire here. And everybody's talking on top of one another, nothing gets done, and it gets very confusing.
so we go into side conversations when we're supposed to be getting to.
That's it, discuss it, 3 minutes, that's it.
Anyways, I think you've
You
lost
want-
most of your.
Make a motion
Yeah,
that we
Yeah,
adjourn.
everybody.
Okay, motion to adjourn, and we'll bring this
Charles,
up the next
second,
house. I mean,
second.
I just wanted, the other items are not essential, but I just wanted you to be
I'm
aware of
I'm
it.
closing this because you guys didn't agree.
Yeah.